to another drawing tutorial with the Paintology app, available free from the Google Play Store and using your phone for making drawings. So this is Paintology, which has been developed over 5 years in order to teach you digital drawing techniques. And if you're a beginner or you're starting out in digital drawing, you probably think everything is about digital tools, and you're quite mistaken. This is the wrong thinking. The reason why you turn to tools is because the art techniques you had difficulty developing when you were young, because you know as well as I do that there are people when you were young, there were other kids who were better at art, and they use the same pencil, paper, just like everyone else, and yet they're able to create much higher quality pieces of art. And that's all down to art techniques, okay? So what is art techniques? Well, art techniques are the ability to understand the materials you're working with. Take, for example, your favorite YouTuber on, your favorite art YouTuber. They can take a blank canvas and then turn it into a marvelous piece of work with their acrylic paints, charcoal, you name it, pastels. They do it because they have developed art techniques. And you watch it not because of the art techniques, just because you love the creation process of, a blank page all the way to a piece of art. And a majority of you do that because you've always wanted to do it, but you never have. Well, Paintology teaches you these techniques using the similar methods as traditional, the same art fundamental techniques, and apply and it makes it easier in digital on your phone because everyone has it. So you should be able to draw and learn these techniques, which have been elusive in the traditional mediums, because there are quite a lot of nuances in using the materials. Like, for example, with pencil, you need to give the right pressure, and people in the digital world, people think that pressure is what's going to make them really improve their drawing, which is not the case. I don't know how you use pressure sensitivity for my drawing, but yet I can produce drawings far more impressive than a typical digital artist. So this is Camille Pissarro, who drew this summer in the field, and I painted this yesterday in the daily tutorial. So if you're new, you may not know that I have daily tutorials teaching you these techniques as I go through a famous painting that you're all familiar with. So let me quickly go through some of these painting. But first of all, this is the phone that I'm using. You can see I did the Mona Lisa there. So you may think, well, to get at this level of detail, you've got to be image manipulating, and that's totally not untrue. You have to watch me through start to finish in the 2 hours. I'm creating this painting with my own free hand, but I'm applying some tools like tracing to help me to do that. And tracing is one of the fundamental methods of developing your art skills. If anyone tells you otherwise, those people don't know what they're talking about. I can tell you right now. And they're probably not that good in art in the first place. Because anyone who's developed the skills and taken it to high levels will never dismiss any tools that help you to achieve your goals. Okay, so that's one. And if you want to see me, if those of you who feel still sticking to their guns and feels that you shouldn't be, well, check out some of my videos where I haven't used trace, but I still make realistic drawings freehand. That's only because I've learned using these tools. I've developed, scaled my skills by applying these skills and learning the techniques. So this is the phone that I'm using. It's the phone that you're currently watching. And let me show you another. So paintology.quora.com is where you want to follow me. Please do follow me on this. That's very helpful for my art. So you can see here I did sunflowers. Anything else going on there? Yeah, so you see I'm going to do the unmistakable Rembrandt. Everyone pretty much once in their life has heard the name Rembrandt come up. And there's a good reason, because he was a prolific artist, draftsman, etcher, and he was called the golden age of Holland. He was at the peak of Holland's golden age. So he created artwork that was realistic, and he made art mainly of people and portraits and many art. But you probably so we're going to create his own self-portrait. He made a number of these, and this is probably in his mid-age. So we're going to do that. This was Pissarro that I did. This was the original Pissarro. And sunflowers, you must know that. Even here you are of you've got a. This is the the unmistakable Pablo Picasso. And then I even did the Monet bathes at the La Granule, I don't know, and somewhere. So you can see his impasto painting, impressionistic, post-impressionistic. And this is by Ferdinand Hodler, the Kia Valley. And you must recognize this one, George Seurat. Yeah? So, a lot. So Constable. So it goes back a long way, but I just don't do that. Just recently, in the 2 weeks or so, I've been doing more of these paintings because everyone has set their eyes on this. So please do follow me. This is my paintology.quora.com, okay? And then let me go to Chrome again. I think I was there already. So Chrome again, and then the page you want to bookmark is paintology.com, and then on the home page, go down a little bit and click on that button, daily step by step, and you'll come to this page. This is the entire collection of the tutorials and the details that I've been doing since October. So there's plenty for you to watch. I mean, I wouldn't know of any artist who puts their live session complete drawings in as I have done here. But please do go through it. This is your opportunity to do it while everything is free, because I'm not charging for anything in the app, tutorials and everything. So you should take full advantage of it, because eventually I will have to charge to keep me supported with all the costs that I have, developing the app, improving the app, and then keeping up live streams, putting up content, marketing, social, and pushing, but there's a lot of growing support, and people are waking up to the possibilities. So here we have Rembrandt Self-Portrait, 30th November, and the reference image. Click on that, and then I'm going to download this image to get ready for drawing. And then I have the stream, part 1, Paintology 8 GMT. Currently we're on that stream. And then immediately afterwards I do part 2 on the produced channel, and that's the link to the stream. And if you I'll give you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes break before I move on to that. So the whole idea of this 2-part session is that I break it up so it's not too tedious, you know. Like I think most people can tolerate maybe 50 minutes to an hour. And so I give a break, and then we hop onto the produce channel to complete the drawing. So this is an entire drawing on the phone demonstration using the Paintology app. So I do a complete drawing, and you can see all these completed drawings. Goes back very far. Yeah? Those are the rows, simple one that you can do. So there are many subjects. Plain, you can see that. James Dean here, another black and white, just to show you tone. So these are very fundamental to learning. There are many here. So many different examples of painting and drawing. So please do bookmark this page and then go through it. If you're serious about painting and drawing, and if you think tools are you going to take shortcuts, sticking to tools, then you can do, but you shouldn't complain later on that your limitations are exactly the tools themselves. I don't have any limitations of the tools because I stick to very small number of tools and use mainly freehand drawing, and therefore my drawing, as you can see, does not look like digital art, but yours is will always be earmarked by appearing digital because you're using autocorrection, autofill. So they're actually quite good for some kind of types of drawing, especially anime, because you know the lines are perfect and you can tell it was drawn by an app, digital art. But majority of people do not know that digital art is very similar to traditional. You just need to adopt some of the techniques which I have, and that's the reason why I created this app, because I do come from a traditional background. Also, highly technical background has been my career path most of my life, and couple that with the art, and that's how I've managed to bring you Paintology. So that's what I'm going to show you, and also Google Classroom is another one you want to look at. Link in the description of the video. So please do check that out, because this is designed for people who are serious about art, who are not just going to come in, start comparing the Paintology to other apps, but understand that it's a valuable platform for learning. So when you do come, this is the home page, go straight to tutorials. I won't show you what they are, but there's paint by numbers, pencil drawing, absolute. They're designed to teach you techniques through fun tutorials. So that's the critical thing, teach you techniques through fun tutorial. And you're going to find, that you will learn these techniques, but you've got to keep your mind open, because there's a lot of reason why people fall over the cliff when they're not able to draw, and that's because they're not open to learning or appreciating the techniques. And majority of people, artists do not. Majority of beginners will get stuck, will stay stuck in that zone. They'll never get beyond. And this is why I feel the app will help you to get past that big obstacle. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and start drawing. Trace drawing. Rembrandt. Load that image and trace. Beautiful. This is, in my opinion, the most powerful tool I've ever developed for a drawing app that develops your skills to such levels that you will not know how you could have overlooked all those skills all these years as well. That's how you'll think of it. So, so why are some people good at drawing? Well, because they appreciate the number one thing in fundamental art, which is tones. And you may think that there's no way I'm going to learn these techniques. It's too academic, and it has been very academic, and because the traditional are not able to put down exactly what the meaning of tones are, and values are, and it still appears academic. I mean, they can carry on explaining with just tones, sounds, but like light cascading on a round ball. In fact, I have those training on this. If I show you this, let me just go on. In fact, I have that. So when you open this up, go to my paintings and click on this video guides on the left, and you can see here that I have exactly the same shading. So you may believe it or not, but this has been done on the phone. The lips drawing, let's go to that. That's been actually done. The lips that I showed you was done using a shade, one brush only. So this is the toggle button that you switch. You can see it takes you through the introduction.
Welcome back to the series of shading.
And then do you see this is, I'm using one brush on the lips, and now I develop the tones. See that? It's just like pencil drawing, isn't it? There. So it will show you, and then you can alternate as you watch the video. Just alternate, and then you'll resume one where you left off, right there, and then you do the same thing and then resume. So this is a very powerful method of learning. So you can watch the video and then go wherever you are on the drawing, and then alternate, and you will resume the video where you started. Isn't that amazing? So these are all tools designed to help you. Do not underestimate this app. Do not compare it even with other drawing apps. It wasn't designed to be like another drawing app. It was designed to teach you fundamental skills. Okay, so if you've come here looking for tools, you're already on the path of becoming subservient to the tools. But if you've come here to learn techniques, then you have to get rid of all the baggage that you've learned using tools. Okay, you gotta get rid of it and come with an open mind and follow these tutorials, video guides, and also a lot of those fun tutorials, paint by numbers. They develop fundamental skills required in drawing. People don't realize that drawing is not just about a pencil making a mark. It's doing a lot more with the pencil, and that's the reason why some people can take it further. So if you've ever wanted to draw, and also one of the other reasons I want to show people to draw is such an exquisite feeling of having done a drawing. And that's the reason you might say, well, this guy is doing it every single day, spends 2 hours and drawing and showing us for free. How is that possible? Well, firstly, number one, I wouldn't do that if it was a chore, right? And 2 hours of drawing, it's not. To me, the reward and satisfaction of one, having completed a drawing to my satisfaction, and two, learning new techniques, even at this level where you might think, God, what more has he got to learn? I am always open to learning. And when you're open to learning, you take things way beyond other people. And that can leave you all alone thinking, why isn't everyone at this particular juncture. Or number two, it can give you an ego boost, right? But I don't have any ego boost. If I want to paint or draw, the beauty is that I have these abilities and skills, and I can take it up anytime. I don't have to sit, I don't have to sit and just consume information from the social media and give them my eyeballs. I can do, create, and take time out. And this is really good for me. So, three things. One, it's very rewarding and satisfying to complete a drawing. That's like a goal. Number two, it's developing my constant ability in finding new ways, new methods, new techniques of drawing. And that's the reason why I've been able to develop all these techniques in digital art. Number three, it 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 is therapeutic. It removes me from the hustle and bustle of every day, and I'm able to give time to myself rather than be consumed in the chit chat of what's going on and what's happening and trivial chat and anything that raises your blood pressure, emotion. So it is very beneficial in all three fronts, and I love it. So anyway, so let's get back to the drawing. There, there. So we're gonna do that. So how are we gonna do that? We got a good maybe 25 minutes to do this. So block coloring. You may have known that I'm gonna use the first method is usually block coloring, right? Which is great, but let's try and do something different. Let's mix it up a little bit. Why don't we use this and use the shade brush to make this drawing. Okay, because people seem to like the pencil drawing, so let's try something different. Let's use the shade brush. Where is it? There we go. It's been a long time since I used the shade, and that's only because I showed you those lips. I felt like an inkling to do that again. Sometimes if you have a lot of things going on, you forget that this is one way of doing it. That's the beauty of you've got so many ways to do something, and that is such a satisfying, rewarding. That's only if you have a good set of skills. If you don't, you're going to be doing pretty much what majority of people do, which is, of course, the in my opinion, just the basic things in life. Come back, watch TV, eat, and that's it. Repeat the whole process again. To me, that's not very exciting. I have to keep my mind open and do things, okay? So we're going to use that shade brush. Now let's look at this drawing. That's a wonderful painting of Rembrandt. I mean, you can tell just by his wonderful colors and shades. He had a beautiful understanding of not only on the properties of the paints he used, but also how to get that information. We're at 430%. And look, come here and we can get this detail. Look at that. See? Look at the level of detail we can. So this canvas that you may think is too miniature for doing anything useful is actually like a big A3 size canvas. And that's why it's so powerful, the phone, in terms of drawing. So the first thing I'm going to do is change that to grayscale. And this brings me to that grayscale mode of drawing. So what is this grayscale? Have you noticed that this has now turned into a gray tone? Yeah. So it's very easy for me to get the gray tone here. Okay. So you can see here. So if I'm going here on completely to the right, I can develop these. Look there. Can you see how I develop the stroke? and then I have control over the brush size, and then here, and then I can really work out the details. So it's like a really like a powerful pencil, way more powerful than paper and pencil. And you might think, no way. You might sort of dismiss it as hocus pocus, but believe me, I'm going to make this drawing close to this, and you'll be astonished at the level of detail that I can do. The first thing is, let's use the line brush to lay down the foundational colors. Okay, so line brush. So we're still in grayscale, and the idea of the line is to lay down. You must have seen anyone who does a portrait, anyone in traditional, how they paint. You must know the simple process they use. They first lay down the colors, the basic foundational colors, which are broad, using a broad brush. You know, they would do the background, sweep the background with the brush, with their charcoal. You know, this could be a charcoal drawing, and then they would lay down the white, then they lay down the black hat, and then they would put down the marks, the grey tone of the of the character, right? And then they would carry on bit by bit until they turn into a marvelous piece of artwork. And that's exactly how we do it in the thing. Forget about layers. I mean, these are for people who cannot draw, who doesn't know the drawing process, drawing techniques. And when I say they cannot draw, that would be a little, that would be wrong in the sense that they can draw if they use the tools. You know, ultimately they will eventually draw, but they don't understand the drawing techniques. So you don't have to rely on those tools. So this is what we have. So we're going to do the line brush here. Keep it at 100%. And then I'm just going to simply, actually, let's take the line brush to about 80%, 85%, 80%. And then let's use the color picker to pick these colors. Okay. Right. So that's what I'm doing. So what am I doing here? I got this in the top position. I'm basically doing what a traditional artist would do, is laying down this foundational colors. So let me do this first around the background, right? And then you'll know what I'm doing. Basically, I'm putting down the first colors. And how am I doing that? Why am I getting all these different colors? Well, we have something which the traditional artist does not have, and that's our infinite color pot. This is the infinite color pot. And what I mean by this is, think of this as where you go and dip in and get a different color. But you don't get a different color from your own choice, because you have the ability to use the color picker to find the exact color that's where your finger or stylus rests. Like I pick the color picker and I rest down. This is the exact color that's local to that paint, and then that's the reason why I can get these wonderful tones, right? Because I'm picking the exact tones. Look how many different tones I picked. Isn't it amazing? Yes, look, you can even see I'm developing the shade technique. So I'm picking these tones. Immediately the brush picks up that tone that's underlying. Okay. So please, when someone told me that this goes around saying that this is a great image editing tool, one hand, it's quite flattering to know my artwork is this good, and secondly, it's quite dismissive that they don't appreciate that I'm doing it by freehand. There's a lot of people who are not gonna know that I draw digitally like this. They make an assumption really quickly that their assumption is that it's done by traditional, and then they don't realize, and they become even more surprised it's done on the phone, you know. So you can decide, and then you can tell me what you think. So this is what we got. How quickly we got that background. Wonderful, isn't it? And now we're gonna get this here. Now we're gonna get the exact. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's get the hat. There's not that different. And let's take this down a bit. Rule of thumb, take it always down. I'm putting at 80% so I can get some tonal variations between the on the brush itself. That may be a little difficult for you to understand, but truthfully, if you really want to understand, you have to try it. I'm not going to go through every little nuances of painting and drawing because I just don't have the time. You really need to try this. And this has been developed. These techniques are not to show off my skills. You can marvel at my skill, but you know that nothing to stop you if you have an Android phone to do it yourself, right? Honestly, I actually never get tired of coming 8 on the dot and doing this. Actually, look forward to it. Now, I've got I think I have close to 200 now of these tutorials. I don't think any artist you'll find does this method. So this is probably unique to you, but you should. This is his hat is so black. Right? Okay, so there you are. Now, let's take a look at our painting. So we've done the hats, done that. So we're laying down the first pass of the colors, and that is exactly how traditional artists do it. They don't rely on tools, they do it on the basis of the tools they already have. They don't rely on. What I meant to say is that they're not going to jump to tools. They can extend the properties of each of the tools they have to create marvelous pieces of art. The simple tools. And that's what you should be doing. Am I going? I'm going to speed up a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. Just put down this color. So line brush, 6.5%, 80% line brush setting. This is something you can do it. And then have this at the just above the midpoint, and away you go. See how the tones change? So I'm picking the color picker and I'm going to pick the tone that's lying there. So we're capturing the tones that Rembrandt wanted for his painting, right? The very tones that he picked. He had to go in there and get these variations of tones from the brush. So we have the infinite color pot here, and then pick the exact tones that are residing behind that where we land the brush, yeah? And that's how we're able to transfer. This is block coloring. Something I came across when I was waiting to see the doctor in the waiting area, and then it took so long because I was quite busy because I needed to go actually for some emergency thing. So it was actually a hospital, I wouldn't say it was a... Anyway, so it was a long waiting area, and it just took forever, and I decided I'm just going to bring my phone out and keep myself entertained. And then I was playing with Paintology. This was over a year ago. And I was playing with my Paintology. And then I started doing this halfway, doing a little bit by bit like this. And then I realized, oh my God, this allows you to get into the details of the original painting. Lovely. So yeah, obviously you're not going to get every thread of information. I did actually Will Smith, and I was so happy with that. I've actually got it in the tutorials here. Tutorial there is about well over 800 tutorials now. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Now what we can do is, since we've got the power of the digital, we can go even more zoomed in. You got it. And then because we got time, we might as well take that down even more. Let's take it down to 3% to his hair. Look at that. You can pick his hair, and we can get his hair, and even the little tiny white marks here. So we're just capturing some of the tones in that area. But don't worry about the details. Art is sort of be free-flowing and lovely. And if it's not, yeah, I hardly spend any time just tools. I spend most of my time, I'm not thinking about the technical aspects of tool. In fact, this method of painting not many people know about it, and even ChatGPT does not know about it, because it tells you, I typed in a question related to digitalizer. What does it take to become a digital artist? And it's trying to follow the masses of people who, it says you have to be a technical mastery of all the digital tools. Yeah, if you use Photoshop, and then you have to have all these other skills. And then I thought, gosh, they need to come and do my ChatGPT needs to come and check out my before it makes sweeping statements like that. So if you're planning to go up the Photoshop path connected with a tablet, think twice about it, because it's a beast, man. Photoshop is a real beast to learn. Yeah, because remember, Photoshop wasn't for digital painting like fine art like I'm doing. It was designed to cater to the growing population of the internet. That's how Photoshop came in, and they saw a niche, growing niche, and they had the money and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it for the next session because I gotta actually drop my daughter off school. Okay. See how it's going. I'm just gonna go up to his left ear. See, I'm picking up these colors, and then we'll resume in the second half. This is not really. You cannot tell me you need drawing experience just to pick the colors, but it's really helping you to understand the tonal colors that you need to use in freehand drawing. Okay, I'm going to go very quickly. In fact, I'll try and finish this so you can see how quickly you can get to it, the colors right there. So I'm just gonna go here. See, it gets darker. He's obviously very knowledgeable about tonal shading. Right there. I'm picking these tones that are similar. You notice I tend to pick the tones that are similar. You needed to be a master of tones because I create a lot of portraits that are highly dependent on tones. Right there. So I'm just going to finish that actually. This is the first part of our drawing. I've got a couple of minutes. So please do join me in the second part, which starts at 10 GMT. We're going to finish this wonderful painting, self-portrait of Rembrandt. So be very quick about it. Don't be a little anal on what you should do. Just do it, for heaven's sakes. You know, that's what I'm saying. People are so sitting on the sideline thinking it's some magical skill with people born with a brush in their mouth. It's nothing like that. Anyone can learn it. And that's the great beauty of painting. And that's why a lot of people do it. Real pleasure. Okay, let's have a look. So you're painting that. Let's have a look at it. Perfect, isn't it? See how we got that so quickly in a matter of 25 minutes. So we're going to save this and then we're going to enhance it. And then we'll get to the next level where we're going to get to this level of ability, right? Even Rembrandt will be very proud of us. Okay, so thank you for watching this part 1. Part 2 will resume in about 15 minutes, 10 GMT on the other channel. And please do join me in this part 2, okay? I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.